Hey, this is Tommy Davis, listening to The Barn.
Hi, and welcome to the Barn, live from the Barn Studios. You got the Mox here, and I'm joined online right now with the legendary Tommy Davidson. Tommy, how are you, man?
I'm blessed, man. Glad to be coming back. Always nice to be there. It is October, so it's getting a little cold, but in February, eh,
Yeah, and coming back, you're talking about Helium Comedy Club this weekend in St. Louis, Missouri, Friday, Saturday at 7 and 10 p.m., and then a Sunday 7 p.m. show. We're excited to have you back in town.
I'm glad to come back, man. This is one of the greatest towns, one of the greatest towns, man. The thing I love about St. Louis is you look at the audience, and it's just not black and white. It's black and white and like a lot of other, but it's Midwest though. It's a trip. But we laugh together. It's not even like I'm standing on the stage. It's like I'm down there with y'all. You know, it's just one of them towns where everybody just like, you know what? I just want a decent job. I want my kids to go to a great school. I want a warm place to live and have some food, and
Yeah.
make people happy.
And
You
that's
know?
all we're looking at right now, right? Like there's just so much stuff going out there in the world today. We just want to kind of have a drink, have some food, and just take it in and laugh a little bit, right?
Yeah, man. I don't gotta have, St. Louis doesn't have to have the Mercedes Benz and the Rolls and the this and the that, or they don't have to be, the man or whatever. It's like, where do I need to roll up my sleeves to go and get done what I need to get done? Where are my kids? Are they safe? What time is the game?
Yeah. We were
You know what I
talking.
mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That the last question there, maybe the most important, right? What time is the game on?
Yep. Thank you.
I know like we're talking about with St. Louis, you get sort of that Midwest charm and accommodation and the
Yeah.
niceness of it. But man, we love our comedy. I know you've played the funny bone a million times probably at this point.
Yeah, man.
And this
Yeah.
weekend's going to be at Helium. What can the fans expect when we come out and see you?
Man, expect the unexpected. I mean, out of nowhere, former President Obama might show up. And what he said about St. Louis is always watch out because Joe Louis. Watch out because there's Red Fox. There's Joe Torre and Guy Torre. And then there's the receiver Torre, if you want to tell the truth. Stallone would say, I'm not from St. Louis, you know what I mean? But like St. Louis, I'm consistent with what I do. I mean, if you got the Expendables, you got Rocky. If you got Rocky, you got Rambo, because they're all the same. You know what I mean? Mick, see that cliffhanger? Ah. See, so that's just a little bit.
Yeah, and your impressions are so much part of your comedy, and I think part of your some of your success on In Living Color and all those days with Michael Jackson and Sammy Davis Jr. and all that.
Man.
Where did that come from? The ability to do impression, was it just kind of having fun with your friends or your family, or how did you develop that skill?
I'm watching my daughter now, my 3-year-old, and it was something that was already in me. She can already imitate things she sees. She's got that computer chip mind like me, that memory. So being raised, in the 70s with all the type of cartoons, we had Looney Tunes and Sesame Street and laughing and rock and roll. And, I just retain things. Now, I'm not going to tell you it had a place because I do those things in class. Oh, there's a comedian in the back. Get out. That kind of thing. My mom would say, "Could you not do that again?" And then she saw Sammy Davis Jr. on TV. She said, "Do that again?" And I went, "Hey, Mom, how you doing?" She said, "You might be able to do something with that one day, but right now, wash the dishes."
Right. We talk to so many comedians, and that's sort of where it starts. And a lot of them will say, "I'm not even the funniest person in my family," right? My brother's funny, or my Uncle Joe, or whoever it
Right,
is, right?
right.
And for me, it's like, I can always I can always tell who my true friends are if I'm really busting their balls, if I'm really getting at them, right? Not in a mean
Right. And they're
spirited
not, go
way.
ahead, finish that sentence.
Yeah, not in a mean spirited way, but
Right. No, I know.
if I'm really getting after you, that's how you know that I like you, right?
Yes. Yes. Love is all in the laugh.
Absolutely. And
St. Louis isn't cute about comedy. They don't have to be, that's interesting, funny. You know, if it's funny, they'll go, he crazy. You know, they don't need to go, that's funny. They'll
do
show you.
do you think sometimes comedians can take themselves a little bit too serious?
I think all the time. Sometimes, all the time, someone take themselves too serious. Just what I never forget is I'm here to make you laugh. That's my job. Now, when I worked at the IHOP, I bust tables. That was my job. When I worked at Roy Rogers Family Restaurant, I washed dishes. That's what I did there. That was the job. I worked at the hospital in the cafeteria. It was to do everything they needed me to do, mop the floor or whatever. With comedy, my job is to make you laugh. And just like on those jobs, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because I always want to do a good job.
Coming from DC, is any of that in your comedy as far as like, does it feel like it's in your blood in a way? Because DC's obviously a very important town for our country and our nation, right? And there can be some seriousness to that. And there's some social
Mhm.
conversations that always need to happen. And there's some important conversations that always need to happen. And they sometimes find their way into comedy. Does it in you? Do you feel that some of that resonates with your comedy today?
Yeah, Washington, D.C. isn't a smarter town than any other town. It's that in Wisconsin, the people know more about milk than anybody else, you know, because that's what it's all about, milk and cheese. That's the industry. With us, we know a lot more about politics and different people because that's where it is, you know. So we grow up, with political conversations from our parents, all the jobs that are there based down in the government, secretary jobs, janitor jobs, whatever, U.S. Treasury jobs, so we work in a government setting. So that's kind of shaped our perception, our worldview, not our worldview, but, our American view, because that's our corner of the world. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. TV,
Mhm.
film star, musician, stand-up comedy, you have a lot of different titles and you've done and do a lot of different things. Is stand-up comedy still not the bread and butter, but is it still maybe your first true love?
Yeah, it is my first true love. You know, my son came over because we cleaned the floor because my wife's dog was peeing on this one rug and it would not go away. So I called my oldest son over and we just vacuumed the rug. We just tore the thing down, you know. And I'll say that's like my first love, you know. And then my daughter comes after that, and then my son comes after that, and then somebody, that's my cornerstone, the one that I put everything into. Comedy is like that to me. Although I could do all those other things, my cornerstone is comedy. Comedy opened up everything else. If it wasn't for comedy, I wouldn't be doing acting and all of that. And if I wasn't that good at comedy, I wouldn't be doing nothing. Like I told you, when I do a job, I learn how to do it the best. I was the best dishwasher there was. I was the best at mopping floors. I was the best busser. I was the best watering plant dude. Whatever it is, I work really hard at it because it's for something good. It's so that I can stay above float in this crazy society that we live in and have just the one thing that you need, you know, and that is to be able to get by, because we know what makes the world go around. It's not black or white. It's not Mexican and ain't Asian. It's green. Some countries don't have enough of it, and we don't. And also, you can't have enough of it, if you know what I mean.
When people come and spend their hard-earned money at your show, what does that mean to you?
That's a perfect question. Um, it means exactly what I was saying in other words. It means everything to me. I used to pick my name out of a jar. I mean, the MC used to pick my name out of a jar and go, Tommy Davidson. Is he here? And I run up to the stage and do my stuff, you know? Now all you got to do is say my name at a podcast and people listen. You know what I mean? Say my name on the radio. Say my name at the beginning of a movie. You know, say my name at work, and I love his work. Oh, he's either one that's on this and that. No, Tommy Davis is not on that. That's another guy. Tommy Davis is on this. So yeah, man, it's the most important thing.
I mean, you're over 40 years in the entertainment industry, right? And looking back on that legacy, with it doesn't seem like any plan to slow down anytime soon. You know, what do you take away from that? What's the most important thing when you think about your legacy and your time as you're in your career?
What did I have to give? What did I have to give to the world? You know, I'm grateful for my career because it's enabled me to talk to you and do the things that I do. I'm as grateful for my career as I am for the military. Because even though you can't see them, things would be different if they weren't where they are. And I know that because I've gone out to corners of the earth to perform comedy at probably practically every base that we have in the world, besides the ones that we don't know that they don't want us to know about.
What do you think it is about the state of comedy right now? It seems very popular right now. It's almost having a resurgence because of, you know, these comedians having podcasts and extra platforms to get some of their, I don't know, maybe marketing or maybe a show promotion or
Or
brand.
maybe just get seen,
Yeah, being
you
seen
know?
more. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I was funny before TV, but who's gonna see it? You know? So they get an early chance at it. And I think it's a lot better because I think we went through a 15-year drought in comedy where comedy, the majority of the comics, their material was about making fun of people and making fun of what people are, and you know, it's kind of like putting people down, you know, and saying, you know, that, you know what I mean? That's you know, that's what comedy's about. For me, it's not about that. It's about lifting people up and the one chance they have to be happy in one room at the same time. Unless it's like church or something, you know, it ain't no airline because they don't serve enough food. So you know, I think that's where I'm coming from on the whole thing. So finally, this revolution comes around, this cancel culture comes around, and guess what? All those comedians are like me now. It was getting to the point where even my wife told me, you need more edge on your comedy. That what she's saying is she needs your audience to go, ooh. I don't do that. I want my audience going, oh my God. Ooh, that guy was funny last night. I'm telling you. Man, okay, you got this to do, I got that to do. I'll see you later on. It's designed for the worker.
Take us back a little bit. Want to talk about In Living Color. That was such a groundbreaking show and such an important show and hilarious show. And the talent that came from that, it was just tremendous. In the moment, were you able to recognize that and, you know, look around at all these people and say, I'm a part of something special here?
We knew it before we were on the air. When we all looked at each other in the room, we're all the hottest comedians at the time. I saw Jim and I was like, me and you are on the same show? I look at David Elgrin, me and you on this show together? Man, Damon, you're on this show? Kelly, you're on this? We're all on the same. Man, we were like, people better watch out. But we didn't get on the air at first. We waited 6 months for Fox to decide if they were going to put us on the air. So we all went back to our jobs and to the clubs. And then they pulled the plug on it and it became hugely successful. We knew that. We didn't know about the fame part. No one's going to know about that. But about the appeal it was going to have on everybody, we knew that.
Tell us a little bit about the writing rooms at that time. What was that like? What was writing the sketches like? Was that fun? Was that part of the fun for you? I mean, obviously the performance is probably, at the top, but how much was the writing, a part of that?
It was everything. We did this thing like we gang bang scenes. Okay. So if a scene isn't as funny as we know it can be, the writers, the assistants, the secretaries, the camera people, we all get in one room and do it in front of them. And then they just scream out something that seems funny, and then the next person would say something, and then this dude would say that, and right there now, and this dude would say that, and this dude would say that. It was actually a group activity.
When that one thing connected and clicked, what was that feeling like? Did you know you had it right then? Like, oh, that's it.
That's one way got it right. Everybody in the room is on the floor laughing. On the floor. I mean, there's no question. Everything we put on screen was designed to make you get on the floor with tears in your eyes.
When people talk about Saturday Night Live, they talk about the competition to get sketches on or to be a part of a sketch. Was there any that, or was it all a collaboration?
It was a collaboration, but that's natural. Everybody wants to star in their own sketch. So in order to have your sketch be on the air, it's got to be funny. And the people who give the thumbs down on a sketch are the cast. You know what I mean? We're going, I don't know about that.
Right.
We'll make fun of you for 3 months if your sketch bombed. We'll make fun of you forever if your sketch bombed. Forever. We never let it go. You got to remember, we're the kids that were in detention in junior high entertaining. Remember those?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Some of the
we're a group of those.
Some of the funniest people I knew I had detention with, or kicked out of school with, right?
Yeah, man. We're the class clowns on turbo fluid.
Was it sort of
have a show?
Was it sort of a group of misfits kind of feeling?
Oh yeah, but I wouldn't say that. It's more like mutants. It's more like think the X-Men.
Yeah.
Xavier brought all these really, really interesting people together that had these powers. Put them in the room, in the danger room, and watched them work together. And then said, okay, let's go on in the air and see what we can do with them together, right?
Absolutely. Tommy Davidson, TV, film star, comedian, musician, all the titles, and now a girl dad, right? Which I am as well. So shout out to the girl dads out there.
There you go, man. Girl dads all the way. I got a little one. I don't need anything else. I'm good.
That's amazing, man. Helium Comedy Club, St. Louis, Missouri. Friday, Saturday shows at 7 and 10 p.m. and then Sunday at 7. And you can go to thetommydavidson.com for all the information. Tommy, thanks so much for joining us today. We're looking forward to connecting with you when you get into town.
Man, thank you. Have a good one, all right?
All right, bro. Thanks.
All right, man.